Gamers, we just cooked. And when I say we cooked, you're looking at a 4-game win streak in Master Rank with none other than my very own burger recipe. So let me show you this deck right here. Now, I will give a shout out to Bidoof a little bit for helping me build this deck, but he really only helped me build a list for the ritual event, and then I went into Master Rank and tested a bunch of different cards and ratios for this deck because I really wanted to make burgers work for me. And man, I fell on a list that is working for me. I mean, come on, dude. This deck is supposed to be terrible trash, right? But we're on a 4-game win streak in Master. We just ranked up in Master with the burgers. So you can't say I didn't cook. I really want to talk about this deck. This deck is so awesome. Nouvelles is just amazing. Okay, amazing. Amazing is not fair. Listen. This deck can brick, it can die to like very few interruptions depending on your hand. It also has actually a lot of gas depending on your hand though, so don't sleep on that. You can have a lot of ways to extend your plays if you're playing it correctly. But yeah, this deck is just so awesome. If you guys don't know what Nouvelles does, they all have like a pretty similar kind of like targeting response thing going on. So Labyrinth, this one, if it's targeted by a card effect, you can tribute it and a face-up attack monster on the field, and you can special summon a level 2 or 3 Nouvelle monster from your deck. So you can special summon the Conferus. That's right, these monsters can be special summoned from the deck even without being properly ritual summoned, and that includes Hungry Burger, which is very important for our deck here. We have Conferus de Nouvelles. This one has pretty much the same effect as this one, where like if it's targeted, it has that response. But then when you get into the level 3 ritual, this one, if any card on the field, including your opponent's cards, are targeted by any card effect, you get to trigger Poeltis, and then you can tribute Poeltis de Nouvelles and a face-up attack position monster on the field, and go into a level 4 or 5 ritual monster. That's where you would go into Mathmech de Nouvelles, and Mathmech is basically one of the best ones. This one, if it's summoned by a Nouvelle monster, so pretty much always by Poeltis, you get to actually use its effect, tribute any attack position monster on the field, summon the big boy, the chef, Grill de Nouvelles, and this guy will negate every single monster on the field, and if it's summoned by the Mathmech, it will also tribute every monster your opponent controls, and you can also tribute a face-up attack position monster your opponent controls to summon a Hungry Burger from your deck. And if you have your counter trap in the grave, which is very searchable and easy to get to when you summon that Hungry Burger, this card has an effect where if a Hungry Burger is summoned, you can banish this card from your grave, tribute as many monsters your opponent controls as possible. So you have 2 opportunities to wipe your opponent's entire board by tributing. It is so awesome. Now, I will admit, these effects will not resolve that often because your opponent is going to scoop before. That's been my experience today. Every time I even got close to doing this stuff, my opponent scooped. It happened to me twice today that I got really close to resolving this stuff against Labyrinth specifically, and Labyrinth just scooped. This deck actually builds a lot of advantage also, which is a really good thing for it. It just does a lot of searching and looping. Recette de Poisson. If you use Recette de Poisson to make a Labyrinth, you actually get to search your Recette de Viande or add it from the graveyard. So you can kind of loop your Recette de Viande with your Recette de Poisson, and then with your field spell, you can also recycle these at the end of your turn. So you have like this nice engine loop going on to keep recycling your ritual spells. Neither of these are once per turn either, so that's really good as well. Man, I'm absolutely loving this deck. I actually have a ton of replays today. We played against a bunch of meta decks and crushed it. We crushed it, okay? We crushed it. I cooked. I really did cook. I'm really happy with this deck list, man. I can't even lie. I'm feeling really good about this, man. So I'm going to show you some replays. We're going to do some live gameplay after, see if we can get another win and get onto a 5-game win streak. Let's get into the replays. All right, so our first replay is going to be against Labyrinth. I think I have 2 replays against Labyrinth. We'll do quite a few replays here because I'm just loving this deck. I don't mind if the video's a little long. I just want to talk about this deck because it's so cool. So yeah, we'll just talk about these cards a little bit here while we're seeing them. So our field spell is really strong. It's a searcher for any recipe card. So that can be a Recette de Poisson, Recette de Viande, or your trap card. So here we already have Recette de Poisson. We have Poissonnière, which also either searches a level 1 ritual monster or a recipe card. card. Technically, you could even search Relinquished with this card, so you could play this card in Relinquished if you wanted to. That's pretty cool. We also have Preparation of Rites, and we have, this is basically E-Telly for our deck, so our hand is really, really stacked. So here we go, Recette de Poisson. We're actually going to go get the chef's special recipe. This counter trap is really good. It's an Omni Negate counter trap, and if you have a Nouvelle monster that was summoned by the effect of a Nouvelle monster, then you also get to pop a card after you Omni Negate. If you special summon a Hungry Burger while this card is in the graveyard, at any given moment, whether the turn it was sent to the grave or later, it's going to wipe your opponent's entire board too. So this card is really, really solid. Next, we're going to activate our Concours de Cuisine. This is our E-Telly. They're going to Ash our Concours de Cuisine. We really don't mind that they Ash the Concours de Cuisine because, like, look at our hand. It's super stacked. Like, I basically went for this one first because I already had her in hand. So I was like, yo, whatever, you know? So I'm going to go for Poissonnière. We're going to search ourselves a Berry l'Abbesse. Then we're going to go for Recette de Poisson. And we're going to tribute our Poissonnière to make our Berry l'Abbesse. Because we used Recette de Poisson to summon Berry l'Abbesse, we get to add Recette de Viande to our hand. And because the Poissonnière was tributed, it actually gets to add itself to the Pendulum Zone. So here we go. We're going to trigger the effect of Berry l'Abbesse, and we can chain block it with the effect of Poissonnière here. This one basically has an Add Emancipator effect. It's going to, like, excavate 5 cards and add 1 Nouvelle card to your hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So there we go. We get to add ourselves the Balameunière. Then we get to trigger the Pendulum Scale effect of Poissonnière. We can change the battle position of a monster on the field and special summon her. And I put her in attack position because Berry l'Abbesse says it has to tribute itself and an attack position monster on the field to, like, get the special summon from deck. So I was like, well, if ever this comes up, at least I have an attack position monster on the field. If they, I don't know, if they wanted to imperm the Berry l'Abbesse for some reason, if they didn't read it, you know, I was like, what if, you know? So here we go. We go Preparation of Rites, pre-preparation, I mean. Get another Berry l'Abbesse and a Recette de Poisson. Then I'm going to go for Nouvelles Restaurant. Activate the Restaurant effect in the end phase. Get myself a draw into Diviner. So this is as basic as it gets, pretty much, right? We only have an Omni Negate and a Berry l'Abbesse. They're going to go for Ariana here. I'm going to go for Chef's Special Recipe ASAP on the Ariana because I'm like, man, I don't want this guy to get a bunch of advantage. I don't know what he has access to. So this kind of worked. I made him just set his cards and pass, which I'm super happy with. Bro went Anti-Spell Fragrance against a Ritual deck. I was like, oh, ain't no way, bro. But yo, we're fine. Because we link summon into Dynamondo, dude. Dynamondo effect, bounce the Anti-Spell Fragrance, shuffle back our Berry l'Abbesse, then we get to activate Nouvelle Restaurant, put the Ben 10 back in the deck to get a draw. They're going to chain Big Welcome, which literally just to pop our field spell, we were going to get a single draw off the field spell. I literally couldn't give less of a shit. So yeah, pop the field spell. Okay, whatever, dude. Either way, yeah, they get their effect here of Lovely Labyrinth. They do get to pop our Balameunière. This was actually a pretty big deal. I wanted to keep that, but either way, we get to go Nouvelle Restaurant, get back our Chef's Special Recipe, activate Diviner, send the Herald of the Arclight to the grave to get our Bale Grill. Then we're going to activate Recette de Viande, tribute our now level 6 Diviner to summon Bale Grill de Nouvelle. On summon, Bale Grill will negate every effect on the field, and also I can use his effect to tribute a face-up attack position monster and summon Hungry Burger from my deck, which would not really get us lethal yet, but it would get us really freaking close, and it would get us so much advantage on the board, right? So here we go. Summon out the Poissonnière effect, search ourselves a Berry l'Abbesse, then we can go Recette de Poisson, summon Berry l'Abbesse, and yeah, like at this point, we're just looking so crazy. So yeah, before I even get to summon my Hungry Burger and do that cool stuff with the Hungry Burger, I was trying to go for game here, but opponent just scooped it up. But dude, against Labyrinth, and I also have a replay going second against Labyrinth where we beat them, but I just thought this was such a cool replay because I set up barely anything and we were still able to just like out resource them and stuff. Like, it's crazy. But anyway, let's move on to the next replay. So for this next replay, I just want to showcase the Herald of Perfection in the deck because that is a very good card in this deck. Cyber Petite Angel is pretty damn good in this deck as well. Here we're going to go Voici la carte. I'm going to reveal Poissonnière and Berry l'Abbesse. They're going to give me Berry l'Abbesse, and we're going to get a copy of Recette de Poisson. Then we're going to go for Cyber Petite Angel to search a Ben 10. We're going to activate Pre-Preparation of Rites, add adding a Dawn of the Herald to our hand as well as a Herald of Perfection. Then we can go Recette de Poisson, tribute our Cyber Petite Angel to summon Berry l'Abbesse. Then we're going to get to add the Recette de Viande because we activated Recette de Poisson to summon Berry l'Abbesse. And we go Berry l'Abbesse, effect, excavate 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to add the level 3 Poeltis to our hand. Then we can go Recette de Viande, tribute the Benten to summon the Poeltis. And then we get the Benten effect. We can chain block it with the draw effect of Poeltis. Yeah, this one draws on summon. So we get ourselves a draw. And we draw into another Benten, so I'm going to search a Herald of the Orange Light in case they get an Nibiru or something. I should have just summoned this Herald of Perfection earlier into the turn. But, you know, like, the order is not that big a deal in this case because nothing happened. But, yeah, generally speaking, I would say I should have summoned this earlier. Either way, we're going to get to trigger Dawn of the Herald in the grave as well as Benten. So we can add the Benten from our grave back to our hand to give the Herald of Perfection an extra negate. And we get to add a Diviner of the Herald from our deck to our hand for follow-up next turn. Then I set the called by. So here we have 1, 2, 3 Omni negates, and also they can't target any card at all because if they do, we'll get to tribute an attack position monster and our Poelsis from the field to summon out our level 5, and our level 5 then would be able to tribute a attack position monster to special summon the Bale Grill, which would then negate every monster on the field and also tribute every monster on the field since it's summoned by a Nouvelle monster. So like actually really solid board, crazy kind of board here. Really sick. So anyway, fast forward a little bit here. What does my opponent do? They go Imperm on the Herald. Don't care. Just going to negate the Imperm here. I'm going to keep my 2 Omni negates. We're playing against Mathmech. I'm playing against Mathmech with Burger, bro. And we're winning. So we're going to negate the Mathmech Circular. They're going to normal summon Circular, go Sigma. We just like called by the Sigma since we can. You know, I could have just negated Sigma, but yeah. Then they're going to go for Lingaribo for some reason. Go for Code Generator with Lingaribo to make Code Talker inverted. We're going to negate the Code Generator in the grave. They're out of gas. Scoop it up. My turn, bro. And yeah, dude, this deck is awesome. All right, so now taking it back to Labyrinth, I want to show you going second against a pretty well-established Labyrinth board. Not even kidding here. Going second against Labyrinth with this supposedly awful deck in Master Rank? I don't know, dude. I don't know. So they're going to go Ariana here. Then they're going to trigger the Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle. We're going to fast forward a little bit here. So special summon that. They search the Coup Clock with the Ariana. Set 2, activate Coup Clock. Then they're going to activate the Big Welcome. Obviously, we ash the Big Welcome. Always ash the Big Welcome, right? So very cool, very cool. My turn. Draw into Cyber Petite Angel. I'm going to go for Voici la carte. We're going to reveal a Poeltis and the other one, but they give us the Poeltis, then we get our Recette de Poisson. We're going to activate Pre-Preparation of Rites, add the Dawn of the Herald and the Herald of Perfection. Then we can go Dawn of the Herald, and they're going to go for Welcome Labyrinth here. Not really a big deal for us. They're also going to get to trigger their Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle. Yeah, this really doesn't matter because they don't get to remove anything from the field. So, you know, they do have the graveyard effect of Big Welcome, but we should be able to negate that. However, I do kind of misplay here a little bit. So here we get our Herald of Perfection, trigger the Cyber Angel Benten in the grave as well as Dawn of the Herald to add our Benten back to our hand. And here's where I made a mistake. They activate Ariana and I decide to get greedy and negate it, but I didn't realize, like, the way I chained this, now I don't have a fairy in hand, so they were able to go Big Welcome in the grave to bounce my Herald of Perfection, which isn't actually a big deal at all because they can't activate this. This was negated, so they don't get to search a Coup Clock. So yeah, like we're just doing fine here. We're doing completely fine. Gonna add the Diviner of the Herald here. Diviner of the Herald effect, send the Herald of the Arclight to the grave. Balamenière to our hand, activate Recette de Poisson, tributing our Diviner to summon Berry l'Abbesse. Since we summon Berry l'Abbesse with Recette de Poisson, we add Recette de Viande. Then we can trigger the Diviner tribute effect in the grave to summon a fairy from our deck, and we can trigger the Excavation effect from Berry l'Abbesse. So excavate 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We can add 1 Nouvelle monster. We're going to add the Confira de Nouvelles to our hand. Then we can go Diviner to summon Poissonnière from our deck because Diviner will summon a level 2 or lower fairy from your hand or deck. That includes Poissonnière. Then we're going to make ourselves a Confira using Recette de Viande to change all their monsters to attack position. We can trigger the Pendulum effect of Poissonnière to put it in the Pendulum Scales. Then we triggered our Confira because on summon Confira will pop the back row. And as soon as I triggered that, my opponent scooped it up. We had a lot of gas left. Poissonnière on summon would have searched a recipe spell, so we could have went into Balamenière, and then we could have attributed their monster with Balamenière and summoned the Bale Grill and just went crazy from there. It was easy game for us, even after that misplay I did with the Herald of Perfection. So I don't even know if I would call that a misplay, honestly. Yeah, just easy money, man. Easy money. This deck is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Honestly, I don't even remember against what my last replay was. I think this might have been my rank up game. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, I think this might be the one where like I create like a crazy turn 1 board, so that's why I saved this replay. So we summon Poissonnière de Nouvelles. Oh, I needed to show you this. That's why I saved this replay. Yeah. So Concours de Cuisine puts a monster on your opponent's field, and because of that, you can actually trigger the Poilti's effect because you can target your opponent's attack position monster. So that's really, really useful actually to give your opponent a monster in this case. This card will like Italie Poissonnière and put a Pâtissière on your opponent's field, and then you can use this as a way to activate your own effects. So we're going to go for Voici la carte. We're going to reveal Poiltis and the other one, and they give us Poiltis, which is actually the one I wanted, so not a problem here. Diviners send the Herald of the Arclight. Herald of the Arclight, I'm going to search a Benten. Then we're going to activate Recette de Poisson, tributing the Benten to summon the Poiltis. Very, very good. Now, we can go Benten effect, and we can go Poiltis effect to chain block and get a draw. So here we go. Get a draw off of Poiltis. We draw into a second Imperm, which is crazy, and we search a Herald of the Orange Light. Then we go into Relinquished Anima, and we activate Anima to target. Whenever any effect that targets a card on the field is activated, you get to use the effect of Poiltis. So it doesn't have to be your opponent that targets a card. You can target a card with an effect and it will trigger Poiltis. So here I'm going to go Poiltis effect. Then I'm going to tribute the Poiltis as well as the Diviner to get the summon off of Diviner. So tribute these two to summon Balamenière. Relinquished Anima is going to grab the Pâtissière. We're going to get the effect of Balamenière. We're going to get the trigger effect of Diviner to summon a level 2 or lower fairy from our deck. We're going to summon the Cyber Petite Angel so that we can set up a negate for our Herald of the Orange Light. Now we have another fairy in hand, so this is now a monster negate. Activate our field spell, Nouvelles, that we searched with Balamenière. We can add a Recette de Viande, set 2 Imperm and our Omni Negate Trap, shuffle 2 into the deck to get a draw. So what do we have here? 1 monster negate, 2 monster negate, 3 monster negate, 1 Omni negate, and an Ash Blossom, plus the tribute effect of Balamenière. Like, this is crazy. This is insane. Like, actually insane. It looks goofy as hell, but it's actually good. And my opponent goes for what? They go for Lava Golem. Oh no, they're playing Runick Stun. Oh wait, we couldn't give less of a shit about Runick Stun. Here they're going to go for this. For the 1 draw, I'm like, you know what? Nah, you know what? I'll just activate Ash right now. You don't even get that draw. I'm not even giving you that draw, bro. You're not even getting that draw, dude. Because, like, what are they going to do, right? They set 2 cards here. They have 1 card in hand. I assume that this is, like, a Runick card, but I don't know. We get a bit of burn from Lava Golem, whatever. Recette de Viande, here we go. Summon out the Berry Labesse, just so that we can get that Excavate effect. And we also get our Benten effect to search. Now, unfortunately here, Berry Labesse actually kind of whiffs, but it's fine, because we're going to get ourselves our Omni Negate off of the Benten. So, yeah, we whiff here. Oh, we don't whiff. We get our Poiltis. Actually, we don't whiff. My bad, my bad. I was misremembering. Yeah, Benten, search the Herald of Perfection. Then with these 2, we can go into Sprite Elf. That's right! Cyber Petite Angel is level 2, so I'm running Sprite Elf in this deck. Elf is pretty good because you can bring back Cyber Petite Angel if you need to search Ben 10. You can also use Elf to bring back a Diviner of the Herald and send another copy of Herald of Perfection. We are running 2 Herald of the Arclight, that's what I meant. So, you know, you can use Elf to bring back a Diviner, send Herald of the Arclight. It's a really, really good card in this deck. Like, just really good. So here we go, Sprite Elf. Bring back Cyber Angel, Petite Angel, whatever. Search a Ben 10. Now we can go Dawn of the Herald. And they're just going to scoop it up because they know what we're about to do. We're about to summon a big Omni Negate with a lot of fairies in hand. Yeah, dude. Hey, you got to admit, the deck is kind of crazy. You got to admit, dude. Like, my list, I kind of cooked. All right, I'm on a 4-game win streak right now. So knowing my luck, we're probably going to lose this game. It's not like this deck has a 100% win rate for me. Like, let's not be crazy here. Going second is a bit rough, and I couldn't find space for Maxi in my deck because I'd rather be able to negate Maxi than activate it in this deck, because Maxi does hurt my deck a lot, in my opinion. Some Bidoof in my Discord was saying that my deck is fine under Maxi, but I just completely disagree. It's very hand dependent if you're fine under Maxi or not, so I'd rather like have Ash to negate it. But yeah, going second here, our hand is not looking amazing, but it's not terrible. Ooh, Valance is super hard to interrupt. We'll see what happens here. This is pretty scary. Yep, you special summon this card. Yep, and then what does this one do? This one doesn't do anything on its own, right? Yeah, it doesn't. Huh? Paid actor? Question mark? They knew. They saw the hungry burger in my hand, bro. They just knew. What the hell? That's crazy. All right, so let's do another game, I guess. Like, oh my god, dude. Like, what the hell is going on, man? Okay, this guy's a sushi enjoyer. That's a little more scary. That's a little more scary, I would say. We're going second again, so, you know. Well, at least we got a 5-game win streak in Mastering. I mean, obviously that last game is nothing to write home about, but, I mean, damn. All right, let's see. Yeah, no hand traps is rough, so we just kind of have to wait to see what our opponent's doing. We have a lot of gas in hand, but it's pretty dependent on what our opponent is playing. Cash tier is kind of tough for us, definitely. Oh, it's tier limit cash. Oh my god, this is going to take forever. Oh, I hate this. Bro, I hate this deck, dude. Hate this deck. Yeah. Well, you know, you can't win them all. We managed to negate everything on their board permanently, but we did not manage to do much else, you know. All right, but let's get a real game of live gameplay. Man, we just keep losing our coin flips. That's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Going second, our deck is not nearly as good. It's not like unplayable because we have a lot of gas if we get a good hand, but like some hands just don't have enough. Like I don't see, like this hand kind of sucks for going second. Imperm is like the only saving grace of our hand here, and the fact that we have Fish Recipe and Berry La Base is pretty good too. Oh my god, ain't no way. All right, here's Sprite Red. If they don't have blue or jet in hand and they go like for Gigantic, we might be okay. Going Sprint. I'm gonna take my chances here. I'll just negate Sprint. Because people are running Angler with just 2 to 3 Manta and like, I just don't want to risk that. I don't want to see that. Yeah, that saved our ass a little bit. If this is Imperm, though, we're kind of in trouble regardless, so we'll see what happens. Wow, that's huge, actually. That's massive. Okay, that's annoying. That's really annoying. Let's go Concours de Cuisine. Concours de Cuisine. We'll summon out Poissonnière de Nouvelles, and we'll give them Pâtissière Couverture. And we'll put the Pâtissière here so that we can potentially grab it with an Anima to trigger. And they use their Imperm here. Okay, that's good. If we got Imperm out of them here and they don't have another one, that's actually good. That's actually good for us. Because now we can go Recette de Poisson to summon Berry La Besse, and we can tribute this card to make our Berry La Besse. And then we can chain block Berry La Besse. So we're going to add Recette de Viande. Unfortunately, Recette de Viande cannot summon Hungry Burger. We're going to go Berry La Besse effect and chain block it with the Poissonnière de Nouvelles. So we're going to get our Adamancipator effect after she goes to the Pendulum Scales. All right, give me something good here. I need gold. No way I whiff here. Oh my god, Bale Grill is not what we want to see here. It's not the worst, but it's not really what we want to see. Actually, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Not that bad. Not that bad. The tribute will come in clutch, potentially. We're going to go Recette de Viande. Summon Bale Grill. Tributing the Herald of Perfection. Look, man, this is what our hand allowed, you know? This is what our hand allows, so we're going to do this. Gotta do what we can. I know we're taking a maxi challenge here and we probably shouldn't, but it is what it is. Yeah, we'll negate all their stuff. Not that it really matters, but why not, right? That's actually fine with me. That's actually fine with me. Yeah, and then we can tribute one of their shits to summon our burger. We're going to tribute their Sprint. So we don't get lethal, but we get pretty damn close. Summon the Hungry Burger. 7,200. Damn, we're actually really close to lethal. We're really close to lethal. No, because we don't get that 700. I'm wrong about that. Okay, so we changed this guy to attack position now. Oh wait, this guy gets this effect. Oh wait, do I want to do that? If I do this, tribute these two, I can summon our level 5. Then the level 5 would get me the field spell. The field spell would search me. We used our normal summon, right? We did not. 64, 71. Damn. Lethal is close. I'm gonna take control with the anima. Oh, I needed to keep her on the field actually for the damage. I think I just messed up. Oh my god, bro. We're getting nibbed. I can smell it. We're about to get nibbed so hard. Please, bro. Oh, it's Valor time. Well, Valor is annoying here. That definitely stops us from getting lethal. This guy can only summon the burger from the hand or deck, right? Yeah. Damn. Damn. I guess we should have used the Berry Labesse here. Alright, we're gonna do it this way. Do this. Since that was Valor and not Nib, what we have to do is we have to target Berry Labesse with our spell. Then we can go Berry Labesse effect. And we're going to tribute, obviously, the attack position monster that we gave our opponent here. And we're going to go and get ourselves a Pueltis. Pueltis. Then Pueltis will give us a draw. Holy moly. That's crazy. That's insane. Yeah. Okay, let's get Dawn of the Herald. Now, this would not get us to lethal because we would just lose damage on the Hungry Burger. What we can do though, even though we don't get lethal, at least now if they target anything, we get our Pueltis effect. Yeah, we might as well get that Hungry Burger in the grave, I suppose. There's really no reason to keep it on the field. Dawn of the Herald will add back the Hungry Burger to our hand. Now we just kind of have to pray that they didn't get starter out of all of this. It seems really silly and very copium, but it's basically our only play at this point is our Bale Grill quick effect and our targeting protection. Well, not really targeting protection, but our ability to play under after they target something with the Pueltis. Okay. Okay, here's Angler. We can go Bale Grill effect. Tribute Angler. Oh, send Angler. I guess that does it. Damn it. Damn, I almost felt good there. I almost felt like a skilled gamer there for a second. And a Manta. Damn it. Shit, man. We were so close. Oh, dude. They're making a huge mistake here. Oh my god, they didn't read. They didn't freaking read. They didn't fucking read. We're winning. Oh my goodness. That's incredible. Bale Grill is kind of useless right now, so I'm actually going to tribute the Bale Grill and their monster. Holy moly, I can't believe they messed that up. I can't believe it. Then we get a search with the Balameniere. We get to add our field spell. Dude, there's no way we're bringing this shit back. There's no fucking way. We're actually bringing it back. We're bringing it back. Dude. 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 Look, man. Deck ain't that bad. Deck is not that bad. Now, I'm not saying, again, not like 100% win rate. I lost a few, but look at this, man. Five wins, 2 losses, one more win, 1 loss, 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 win. This was before I fixed the deck. Here, like, I had not yet added the Herald stuff and the Ben 10s and stuff like that. Like, I was still figuring out my list. Not too bad at all. Let's go check out the burger recipe, right? So here's the list. We have 1 Cyber Petite Angel. Very good because you can summon it off of the tribute effect of Diviner. Diviner, if it's tributed like for like one of your ritual summons, you can use it to either summon your Poissonnière or your Cyber Petite Angel, depending on what you need. Petite Angel will search a Ben 10, and Poissonnière will search a Berry Labesse or one of your recipe cards. So very, very useful there. We have the Herald of Orange Light that we can search as just like an added hand trap that we can get off of Ben 10 if ever. 3 copies of Diviner, 3 copies of Ash Blossom. Diviner is just your best normal summon in this deck by far, just sending the Herald, getting a search, and then on tribute getting another search of a special summon of either of these two is just insane. Yeah, Ash is like a no-brainer. It's just because I don't like playing under Max C. I'd rather have Ash than Max C in this list. I think Ash, just being able to stop Max C when you're going first is just too important. 2 copies of Poissonnière, 2 copies of Berry Labesse. This is like the ritual that starts off your plays. You mostly want to see this card and fish recipe, recette de poisson. So yeah, definitely Berry l'Abbesse is a 2 of. Confira is a 1 of. This is not that great, but it's the one that gets you an effect off of recette de viande. The effect is to change all your opponent's monsters to the attack position, which can be pretty useful so that you can use your tribute effect with Balamenière later down the turn. 2 copies of Pueltis. I just really like Pueltis because it triggers on any target effect, because you know these two, they have to be the ones that are targeted for attack or card effect. Pueltis is just literally if any attack on a monster is declared or any monster is targeted by any card, it triggers. So I really like Pueltis. That's why I'm running 2, and I'm only running 1 Balamenière. Sometimes I wish I had 2, but then like the deck is just so tight that I'm like, I just don't want to run 2 for that reason. Hungry Burger I think is a must run, just so that you get that tribute effect off Bale Grill. That should literally won us the game against Sprite there. 3 copies of Ben 10. This card is just so good for your engine. You can use it to just like keep adding more and more Ben 10s to your hand so that you always have materials for your ritual summons, since you're kind of looping your ritual spells constantly in this deck. Or you know, you use it to get your Herald of Perfection. There's so many applications for Ben 10 in this deck. It's absolutely insane. Herald of Perfection I think is probably a must play. It's just so useful as like a bomb, like a bombshell that you can drop on your opponent going first and even second. Dropping this early, as you guys saw against like Labyrinth, kind of won me the game. So like, yeah, it's just an amazing card. 3 copies of Pre-Preparation, obviously. With this, you can actually get into your Berry l'Abbesse plus Fish recipe, which gets your place going. Or if you don't need to do that because your hand is stacked, then you can go for the Herald of Perfection plus Dawn of the Herald, which is also an amazing play with the preparation. 3 copy of Voici la carte. This card, it's just basically like showing your opponent the menu, and they get to pick what they want you to serve them up. 2 copies of Nouvelles Restaurant à Table. This card is just an amazing field spell. It does everything. You get to, like, you know, fix your hand a little bit by putting a ritual from your hand into the deck to draw a card. On end phase, you can take 1 recipe card from your grave and any other card from your graveyard, literally any other card from your graveyard, recycle them into your deck and draw a card on end phase, which like sometimes you'll draw into a hand trap, and that's just amazing. And obviously on activation, searching a recipe card is nothing to sleep on. That way you can search Chef's Special Recipe, and you can actually search your field spell with Balamenière, who is very easy to consistently summon in this deck. Here we have our Recette de Poisson and our 1 Recette de Viande. 2 copies of Called by the Grave, obviously. 3 copies of Concours de Cuisine. This is your E-Telly. 2 copies of Imperm because the deck is really tight, but Imperm is really good. And 1 copy of our Counter Trap. This card is sick. It's really good. Omni Negate, and plus you get to wipe your opponent's board sometimes. 2 copies of Pâtissiel. You need the Pâtissiel to be able to use your E-Telly. 2 copies of Herald of the Arclight. This card is just broken. 1 copy of F.A. Dawn Dragster. Didn't get to showcase this in the video, but there are a lot of scenarios where you're going to be going Diviner, send the Herald. Diviner is going to be level 6, and you're going to have a Poissonnière on the field, and that's a level 6 tuner plus a level 1 monster. You can go into Dawn Dragster, get an extra negate on the board. It's pretty free, and you can do it pretty often, so definitely worth running if you have it. 1 copy of Anima. This card is super important in this deck. Don't sleep on this card. You need this card in the deck because it makes it so you can target the Pâtissiel that you summon on your opponent's field. And because you target a card, you get to trigger the Pueltis. Pueltis can then summon the Balamenière, and off of Balamenière, then you can go into your Bale Grill. So very important to run Anima. 2 copies of Phoenix because it's just a good card. IP Masquerena, you know, Unicorn, that whole package. Cross Sheep can come up, but it hasn't come up for me. I might actually replace this card. 1 copy of Herald of Mirage Lights. Again, I haven't summoned this card, but it's a really good card. It's a spell/trap negate by sending 1 fairy from hand to the grave to negate. So, you know, definitely not a card to sleep on. I haven't summoned it yet, but like I think if I was better at the deck, I'd probably have summoned this a couple of times where like I didn't have as many interruptions. 1 copy of Sprite Elf. This card is crazy in this deck. Definitely a must play. Definitely a must play. I mean, getting to summon either Cyber Petite or Diviner is crazy. Dynamondo is just a must run in ritual decks now. This card is just nuts. This card saved me multiple times. 1 copy of our Nightmare Unicorn, 1 copy of Access Code Talker, and the Underworld Goddess. This one, never summoned it, but it's not that hard to get a bunch of bodies on the field, so you can definitely run Underworld Goddess and actually get to use it. So it's not like a bad card to run. Either way, that's the card by card. That's the video. That's my burger recipe, guys. So let me know what you think in the comments. I honestly really like this deck. I think it's a lot better than people are giving it credit for. Not to say it's like, oh my god, this deck is tier 2, tier 1 or whatever. Like, I don't know where I would rank this deck. From my performance today, I would say like maybe like low-key underrated, maybe tier 3 shit. But you know, I'm not gonna start like coping too hard, but I don't know. From my experience today, I think people are underestimating this deck, or people just don't know how to play against it. That might be it as well. Either way, guys, Make sure to like the video, leave a comment, subscribe. Appreciate you very much so. All right. Bon appetit.